So to start with, let me thank the organizers to invite me and be here in this conference. To honor Professor Ram Murthy on the occasion of his 60th birthday. So actually this topic selection in my talk is rather unusual because I am talking about something which I was doing more than 25 years back here when I was learning some number theory from Professor Ram Murthy and Professor Balasubramanian. And last 10 years I am doing totally different type of things. But though the organizers are not very strict about keeping the topics close to the theme of the conference, automorphic forms, still this will allow me briefly in the beginning to mention, to touch the topics of the, tell something about modular forms. And then I will move to some method which was actually Professor Ram Murthy suggested some problem which was related to modular forms and omega results specifically. And then I was looking in the literature different various methods dealing with omega results on various arithmetical functions and related things. Then we hit upon a method of Erdos and Shapiro, one averaging technique, and that we worked on successfully on several arithmetical functions. Some of the arithmetical functions are not so well known, some of them are very classical, and in some of cases we got very good bound, which are some of them are still in the best known upper bounds. So that is one good thing because there are a lot of PhD students here. So I tell that method which has still some potential to tap and which I think is still not been done. And also, since I will tell that method in terms of several arithmetical functions, in each of those arithmetical functions I will tell the present status and give some open questions, also mention them. So let me start. So this I already talked about. So because this is already very well known notations, but since there are PhD students, so let me, this omega plus means, so f is a function, real function, and g is greater than 0. Then we write omega plus fx is equal to omega plus gx to say that the lim sup of fx by gx is greater than 0, and fx is equal to omega minus if f minus f is having omega plus. So in the other direction. So that means infinitely often that ratio is up, and one writes omega plus minus. If both these assertions are true, both omega plus and omega minus are true, oscillation is on both sides, and we write this if at least one of them holds. So let f be a normalized Hecke eigenform of even integral weight on the full modular group, and then Hardy had this is the classical omega result, and Rankin improved this, that the ratio, lim sup is infinity. Then there is a good improvement by Professor Balasubramanian and Ram Murthy, which says this, and here, but of course I should mention that this is not the main result of the paper. The main result of the paper was about tau function, and where of course there were due to some non-vanishing, there was some result about if you normalize this tau n by write tau subscript n as tau n by n to the power 11 by 2, normalize it, then that tau subscript p often is greater than 1, that was done. So more precisely, if you take tau subscript p square minus 1 by p to the power say beta and sum it over all those where the numerator is positive, then that is divergent for, I mean, little bit less than beta, little bit less than half. So that was needed. Then once something is bit more than 1 at tau subscript p more than 1, then they can push it to something strictly greater than 1 at some p to the power some m, where m is not so big. That was the trick. But the second part was going through, and with that this comes. So they had here for 2/3. So here it was 2 by 3 minus epsilon for tau function, which improved the earlier result of Joris, which was 1 by 22. And then Ramamurthy subsequently got the best possible these bounds, omega results, which is in I mean, comparing with Deline's theorem, these are the best possible. Okay, that time these big theorems, Sato Tate was not available. So what was available? That Sahidi did some of the L functions which had analytic continuation, and that he used very cleverly and got this. So after this, he suggested me some problem. So following this, I just mentioned that so if f is a cusp form of integral weight for gamma naught n with real multiplier system, and f is a Hecke eigenfunction, and f has no 0 on the positive imaginary axis, then we have this weighted sum omega plus minus this. Later on, many people followed up and did oscillation with various different weights and on other sequences as well. So I will not go into this. So I go to the next theme of my talk, which is that averaging technique of Erdos and Shapiro. So here, so this phi is Euler's tangent. So the number of integers less than equal to n, which is co-prime to n, and this is the main term, and this is the error term, and there was very old result of Dirichlet, of course, here, okay, 1 plus epsilon, but then this was Martin's R log R. Then Wolfish did this 2/3, and here it is 4/3, and this is the best known, but here let me tell some of the history. So few years before this Wolfish result, there was a paper of Saltykov. People had bit doubt where this 4/3 was replaced by 1 plus epsilon. Then people were not ready to read this paper carefully and had some doubt about some estimates. But then Peterman checked it carefully and found that he assumed certain bounds in some region which is not so. But if you put the right thing, then you get back this bound again, not this 1 plus epsilon, but 4/3. So in that way, Saltykov gets the credit of getting this bound before Wolfish. So now we go to these omega results slowly. So here there is the error term. Sorry, I made a mistake here because the typo. This R. Okay, this is like this, and there is an integral. This thing. This should be read as R. Okay, and so not much. So it is very, most often it is not more than X. This says. So then there was a, sorry, there is some page missing. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Let us see. Then, so Chawla and Pillai showed that there is a positive integer x naught. Okay. This x naught is the least positive solution of a particular system of k plus 1 linear congruences, so that k is of order log x naught, and a positive constant c such that this bound holds. So from this it easily follows that Rx has to be omega x triple log x. So this is oscillation of the error term. And then regarding the sign change, there was a table made by Sylvester up to 1000 for this R1, R2 up to R1000, and he conjectured that this Rx is greater than or equal to 0 for all integral values of x. But then he missed his own chart, and later somebody, Sharma, pointed out that R820 is less than 0. Then people thought about oscillation and whether it oscillates infinitely often or not, that was open for quite some time, till Erdos and Shapiro came with this averaging technique, which I am going to talk, and that they showed this oscillates, okay, R 4 log R. So what they do, they consider this weighted average now and take the corresponding error term for technical reason, and we have to relate this H and R, they are related by this relation, sorry. H and R related by this relation. So what can happen? So if you get omega for one, you can pass it on to other, okay, both omega and omega plus. And so what is the technique? Now technique is very simple, that if for a given arithmetical function there are integers a such that when summed over different residue classes mod a, the sums vary a lot, then after analyzing the situation with some insight, one may hit upon right type of a such that there is fluctuation, and then pick up the b such that sum over the residue classes b mod a yields the expected fluctuation. So here lot of things go, I mean not shown on the paper, one has to analyze, and when you get that, then you put in the paper. So many things are, so historically this method was already there by Hardy-Littlewood when they considered the fluctuation of omega result of for these two things, they worked on this thing, but later all authors who picked up the method, they picked up from the Erdos-Shapiro paper, and so that's why we are calling it Erdos-Shapiro technique. However, we have to mention that this method was already existing. Now, in the 5 function case, what is the a and b? A was this, take product of all primes up to some b, and that is your b, okay, and x they were taking in that paper equal to a, but there was some mistake. Of course, they had something in mind, but people followed that. So you have to take little more than a, then it will, everything will go through. So it follows this, okay, they got this. So if because of the omega result, if this has to fluctuate at least to one side, that is the, so if becomes the negative side fluctuation, then this is positive. From that relation you get omega plus of h plus. So if it is fluctuating on the positive side, then this gives omega minus for h. Then you go to the earlier relation h and r, from that plug in and you get the corresponding omega result for the main error term, and this h is the error term for the weighted average. So this is the nice result of Erdos and Shapiro. Then after that, yeah, so that's what I explained. So there are some further remarks. I will come back to the omega result improvement later on. So Peterman in 86, he proved that xt is equal to this, where xt is the number of sign changes, okay, and there was Erdos conjecture at number of sign changes at integers, and that is done by Lau in 1999, okay. So that is also omega t, and by a suitable modification of the same method, Erdos-Shapiro method, again averaging, Montgomery, he truncated this thing at some point, and then he could prove that instead of this r root log log x. So that there are 4 log 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 log, now it is root log log. So this is the stands as the best known omega result, but there is the conjecture. So the Montgomery conjecture is that both the order and the omega is x log log x. So no improvement beyond this thing now, and already I have given that Wolf's result earlier, what is the best O result. So, this is an open question. So, next, this is not I will spend some 5 minutes on this function. This is not so well known function, delta kn. So, k is a natural number, take the maximum d dividing n such that which is co-prime to k. So, historically, okay, here you take the of course k square free, and Guzel, Stanislaw Guzel, he considered in 1910 of delta 2. Okay, so you take the odd part, okay, and this was the result, and Surya Narayana considered this delta kn in the beginning, and this error term was not good, and then Joshi and Vaidya got this right error term as this in general, and Joshi Vaidya also got that lim sup and lim inf of this when this p, k is p, in that case they got this. And Herzog and Maxine, by some Tauberian argument, they generalized this to this. Then simultaneously we were working, in fact when we almost got it and we saw this announcement, so we with Balasubramanian and Shankar Nayanan, so we established the result by Erdos-Shapiro method, the same result. So here we, after analysis, we took A is equal to this, okay, and B is equal to this, okay, and P is 2 if 2 divides K, if odd prime power prime dividing K, if 2 doesn't divide K. So with that averaging technique we got the by elementary method. I should also mention that while working these things, okay, we could manage to get, because in this result of Montgomery there is some analytic component. So he was taking this sigma phi n by n to the power s as zeta s minus 1 by zeta s and doing some analytic method, and but we replace that also by elementary techniques while working on these things. So our elementary method was completely elementary, this averaging so far, and when k was more than 1 prime factor, some improvements of the above results were obtained by Peterman later on. 1 factor 1 minus something came. Now further remarks, in the other direction it was Maxine Herzog proved this, lim sup is bounded by this, which with Balasubramanian we could put a factor here, and then the above implies this, and with Sundararajan later we got further improvement of this, and Peterman had proved that here the lim sup and lim inf are related like this, so that you can work only with one of them. One-sided thing was we had already needed that, and in our paper we had already done one-sided in a much simpler way. So this is the comment about this. Then we go to other. This is the lattice point problem. So here let Rkn count the number of vectors, these k vectors in integers, okay, for which this sum of the squares is n. So then Akx is the symmetry function of this average of Rkn, which is nothing but the number of integer lattice points in k dimensional sphere of radius root x. So this is a classical problem. So where it is not difficult to see that this number of lattice point inside this sphere is proportional to the volume of this sphere, and for k greater than equal to 5 things are even the property of the function is rather smooth in this sense for k greater than equal to 5, and corresponding error term also behaves nicely, and we know this O and omega of the same order, k by 2 minus 1, and in fact a lot more are known, lim sup lim inf of this error term by this are known. And so when k is 2, this is the famous circle problem. I will just touch this thing. So we have worked on with the averaging technique in dimension 3 and 4. As we have said that dimension 5 onwards there is nothing to do, everything is solved. So 2, 3, 4 are open. So 2 I am mentioning, this is the most difficult thing and very well known question where a lot of people have worked on this. I have not mentioned all names. So now it is known to satisfy something. I have made it simplified. Here it was this into log to the power something, but so this is known. And this is other direction because we are telling about these omega results. So Hardy already had proved first that it is omega plus minus x to the power 1/4, and again that it is omega minus of 1/4 log x to the power 1/4. Then Hafner just method, because if you see the Hardy's representation of the error term in summatory sigma, there is something cos 2 pi root nx minus 3 pi by 4 comes. So one takes root nx to be near integer so that it contributes more, and there Hardy was taking those things, but what Hafner did, he chose some of these big, where these error terms big ones, where n is big, okay, that number of representations is big, those points he chose, and there he did the Dirichlet approximation, and in that way he got a very good this omega minus bound, and omega plus bound is due to Korady and Katai. Okay, this is the omega plus, and I should mention, which I not in these slides, that Soundararajan has another general result where he was similar functions he took, and more than Hafner he was restricting himself to less number of points where it goes up, and that way he managed to improve this, but he lost that plus minus. He just px is equal to omega and bit more than this. Here it is bit more. So that is so. This is the result story about Gauss circle problem. So we go now to fourth one. Third one will k equal to 3 will take at the end. So this is the number of ways n can be written as a sum of 4 squares. This is this very close to sigma n. So Wolf has shown that P4x is x log x to the power 2/3, and from corresponding omega result of sigma n, it follows that this, because as I mentioned, so and Jago, from the general result of Jago for 3 and 4, k is equal to 3 and 4 both, it comes x log x whole to the power k minus 1 by 4. So when k is 4, you get 3/4, x to the power 3/4 log x to the power 3/4. So you see the difference between here in the power of x itself, there is a big difference. Here it is 3/4 and here it is x. So then we took up this problem, and with Balasubramanian and Shankar Narayanan, and we got this omega plus of x log x. So if we go back, so in the x it matched now, only here it is log x to the power 2/3, we got log x. So I'll maybe give few lines about this method later on, and using some results from this paper, and we observed, because here we are taking, I'll mention this slide sketch of this proof of this, that what arithmetic progression we are taking, we change that arithmetic progression in this case. After telling this, I'll tell that, and we managed to get omega minus result also, because in this method we got both same omega plus minus, omega plus already obtained, so omega minus was a new result. But this improved that, so here we got omega plus was not known before, and omega minus improved Jago's result to even the x level itself. So to our knowledge, these are the best known omega for this before till now. And so sketch and deduction of this. So this is, we can write like this, where alpha is -3 if 4 divides d and 1 otherwise. And also we relate this our original error term, and this Rx is the error term for average of this. So we relate these two like this. Then we work on the error term of the average of this function. Okay, and so after lot of analysis, one can bring down this NQ beta into this form. Okay, alpha we should recall, this is that this is that function which is 4 divides d, it becomes negative, and otherwise it is 1. So it is like this. And so of course we have to put many things in On. That is possible if we do q, you have to keep like root n, little o of root n, and beta is less than q, and y is something like this. So we take this, q is equal to product of all primes up to this, and beta is just q by 2, and z is integral part of half log n, then everything is satisfied. And then with this choice, this becomes what now? This becomes, because we have to see what happens to the fractional part, because here we are summing E less than equal to y, P divides E implies P divides Q, but Q we have is all primes up to this is there, and in beta we have thrown this 2 from that. So beta is odd, and so what is happening? So we are getting contribution only from the where this thing alpha is giving negative, then this becomes 0. So we get so this trick was there long before by Levesque and others, that to do this sort of things there is something which fluctuates, but here you put something when it is negative or one way or other, this factor kills that. So this makes such a way that everything now is on one side. So everything is positive now, whatever survives, and that becomes like this. Okay, this is not, doesn't divide. So then this, and we are through. So that's how it worked. So then we go to weight 3. Weight 3, it was P3 is known to be order of x3 by 4, and see here in these methods, this even in this case, this function number of representation number sum of 3 squares doesn't fluctuate that much. So like that Hafner or Sundararajan idea doesn't work that well, that you constant takes away something. So here these methods. So what we did, we have got, I'll tell later on, P3 is this, and Vinogradov had improvement, this is the best, and Camillion H, this is after that, and Heath Brown. So I think that is to our knowledge, that is the best known. And here, so we concentrate mostly on omega results. So Jago proved, as Jago we have mentioned for 3/4 both, and there we got 3/4, and here it is half. Okay, so P3x is omega minus x log x to the power half. And here from a general, Raghavan Narasimhan and Chandrasekaran had a general result for many arithmetical functions which satisfy, suppose, some gamma factors, functional equation, and there they got this P3x is omega plus this. So this is omega minus, this is omega plus. And Nowak did this omega plus improvement. And what we did, we had this with Peterman, we got the omega plus minus result for fourth k is equal to 4. From there, Brasher and Knopf had an idea that how to go from fourth to third. You take every slice like that, suppose 3-dimensional if it is there, every level you take and then integrate. So that way we worked on that, and that worked here, and it gave omega plus of x to the power half log x like this. So here it was this root, and we have improved to that. And this was there for quite some time, and here there was Bleher and Dyson. There was a paper, they thought that there was some improvement of this, but that paper had a gap, so that got dismissed. But later on, again, that what Bleher and Dyson claimed, and that paper had some problem, which Sang worked, and he could get that and replace this by root log x. Here one bracket is missing. So this is the case for k is equal to 3. So now I will go to some other functions. So because we have finished our discussion about these lattice point problems, then we go to Chawla and Pillai for this sigma function. So, and they derive this above, that this is positive infinitely often from this following identity, and for infinitely values of x, gx is less than cx, and Grunwald had this omega result x log x, this error term related to sigma n. And because I am telling where all these function, this our method, this averaging worked well. So this was Grunwald we got result, and again Peterman used this averaging technique to get this, and again this remains the best now. Now tell about the history of this thing. After Erdos-Shapiro, what we found, I looked into the literature, and Poisson was the person to take up the Erdos-Shapiro method, and something like phi function, they are taking function which are like this, n, and this is mu c, pc by c, where some admissibility condition on p, that these admissibility conditions are that p is completely multiplicative, lying between 1 and n minus 1, and then there is some another thing, the average of this and average of the weighted by n, there this of is little o of x into that one. So these three conditions, if it satisfies, then they got similar thing whatever for phi function, and that is this one. So historically this is the next after Erdos-Shapiro paper, the method was used, and I have already told several other occasions. And then later on with Coppola and Anirban Mukhopadhyay, we use this method for average of the sum of p prime divisors function this, which is defined to be the sum of divisors of n which are relatively co-prime to p. And we got that if this is the error term, actually this is the main term in that case, and if this is the error term, then this fluctuates x log x. So each time, of course, I am not telling what are the arithmetic progressions we are considering, because I wanted to give an overview so people can look and try to see if there are some places these things can be used. Then Chen and Chen, they generalize the above result to sum of the a prime divisors function with a equal to this. Here too the method is averaging, so averaging technique they used, and explicit constants for the omega plus minus result worked out by Peterman. And sorry, there is one more. Here this when they work, their result covers both our this as well as because they take a, when they take a equal to 1, that covers Peterman's work. So they generalized both our result and Peterman's result for small omega function. Okay, thank you.